Good morning, students. Today we will discuss the first chapter of your grammar book, that is sentences. Here, today we will discuss the topic phrases and sentences. So, students, do you know what is a sentence? Yes, a sentence is a group of words that express a complete thought. For example, the book is thick, the rain is falling. A sentence must minimally have a subject and a verb. For example, we met Raj. She is nice. Sometimes subject can be omitted if it is understood. For example, leave. Suppose if I ask you, leave, you will understand that I am asking you to leave. So, here the sentence is complete. So, even a single verb can be a sentence, right? Here we can understand that the subject you is omitted. So, what is a sentence? Sentence is a group of words that express a complete thought. It must have a subject and a verb at least. Right? Okay. Now let us see what are the features of sentences. A sentence consists of a group of words that make complete sense. If the sentence is not complete, it may not be a sentence. Okay? Next, it has a verb. In a sentence, there must be a verb. It begins with a capital letter. The words in a sentence are written in a proper order. What is the proper order? There will be a subject, then a verb, and then there may be an object or an adverb. Next, it has a subject and a predicate. A sentence ends with a full stop, a question mark, or an exclamatory mark. If any of this punctuation mark is missing from a group of words, then we will not call it a sentence. I hope all of you have understand. Now let us see what is a phrase. I think this is a new word for you. So you need to carefully listen to what I say. A phrase is a group of words that makes sense but not complete sense. For example, old and weak, last month, a rainy morning, in spite of. All these are group of words. It has a meaning, but it does not give us a complete sense. If I told you old and weak, what will you understand? You will get a meaning, you will get a sense, but you will not get a complete sense. You won't understand what I am wanting to make you understand, right? So, phrase is a group of words that make sense but not complete sense. But it is not like that. Any kinds of group of words will be a phrase. Those group of words will be called a phrase that has a particular meaning. Suppose if I say played park football. These are a group of words, but it does not convey any sense. So it is not a phrase. But if I say a good student, it has a meaning, it has a sense. So, a good student is a phrase. What is the feature of a phrase? That it will have a sense but not complete sense. It will not contain a subject and a verb, but it will be used as a part of speech. A phrase cannot stand alone as a sentence. It is included in a sentence to convey a proper meaning, to convey a complete sense. If we only use a phrase, the sense will remain incomplete. Look at this table. Through this table, your idea will be cleared. Phrases and sentences. A phrase is a group of words that does not express a complete thought, whereas a sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought. A phrase does not have a subject or predicate or both, but a sentence has both subject and predicate. A phrase does not give complete information about the subject or predicate, but a sentence gives complete information about the subject or predicate. So, a phrase may be a part of a sentence, but a sentence is never a part of a phrase. It is self sufficient. A sentence is a self sufficient, whereas a phrase is depend on a sentence. Okay, let us move to the exercise. Underline the phrases in these sentences. 1. The garden was full of red roses. Underline the phrase of red roses. Next, she is always in a hurry. Underline in a hurry. So, in these two sentences, of red roses and in a hurry are the phrases. Okay. Next, tick the group of words that are sentences. 1. Will not be. Does this word make any complete sense? No, so it is not a sentence. Next, I am very glad that you came. These group of words make a complete sense, so it is a sentence. Tick it. Next, how long have you been staying here? This is also making a complete sense, so it is also a sentence. Next, what a beautiful dress. Now look at this group of words. There is no verb, right? And it does not make a complete sense, so it is not a sentence. Next, no one has gone. It is making a complete sense, but there is no full stop, no question mark, no exclamatory mark at the end of these words, so it is also not a sentence. So hope you all have understood. Next, parts of a sentence. A sentence has basically two parts, subject and predicate. What is a subject? Subject is the person or thing about which something is being stated. For example, John is a good boy. If I ask you, who is a good boy? John. Here, John is the subject. To get a subject, we have to identify the verb. Then we have to ask question using the WH words, who or what. The answer would be the subject. If I say, Riya is a beautiful girl. Who is a beautiful girl? Riya. So Riya is the subject. If I say, the sun shines in the east. If I ask, what shines in the east? The answer is the sun. So by asking question using who or what, the answer that we will get would be a subject. So to get a subject, what we need to do is ask question using the WH words who and what. Keep it in your mind, okay? Next, whereas the subject is the first part of a sentence, predicate is the second part of the sentence. Generally, the subject remains in the first part of a sentence and predicate in the remaining part of the sentence. Predicate says something about the subject. Leaving the subject, the rest part of a sentence is a predicate. For example, Rahul watches television. What is the subject here? Rahul. If we leave the subject Rahul, what is the rest part of the sentence? Watches television. So watches television is the predicate. So if we are asked to identify subject and predicate, what can we do? At first, we can trace the subject. If we get the subject, then leaving the subject, the rest part of the sentence will be the predicate. I hope all of you have understood it. Let's move to the exercise. B. Read the following sentences and identify the subject and the predicate. 1. Mahi's batting was flawless in the final match. If I ask what was flawless in the final match, the answer will be Mahi's batting. So Mahi's batting is the subject. Circle Mahi's batting and write subject. So we came to know that leaving the subject, the rest part of a sentence is the predicate. So if we leave the subject, the rest part of the sentence is was flawless in the final match. Underline it and write predicate. Next, most parts of Africa are covered with jungles. What are covered with jungles? Most parts of Africa. So encircle most parts of Africa and write subject. What is the rest part of the sentence? Are covered with jungles. This is the predicate. Next, India is a densely populated country. So, what is a densely populated country? India. Here, India is the subject. Encircle it. Is a densely populated country is the predicate. Underline it. 4. The novel Anandamath was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. So, what was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee? The novel Anandamath. So, the novel Anandamath, encircle the novel Anandamath. It is the subject. And what is the predicate of this sentence? Yes, was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Next, we celebrated our grandmother's 85th birthday yesterday. So, who celebrated our grandmother's 85th birthday yesterday? We. So, here we is the subject. Celebrated our grandmother's 85th birthday yesterday is the rest part of the sentence. So, it is the predicate. So, in these 5 sentences, let us see what are the subjects that we get. In the first sentence, Mahi's batting. In the second sentence, most parts of Africa. In the third sentence, India. In the fourth sentence, the novel Anandamath. In the fifth sentence, we. So students, if you have time, I would like to ask you to go through the video again so that you have a clear idea of what you are taught today.